Hey, what's up, YouTube? Alf here, playing with, well, some more goofy teams. I'm bringing back the Shadow Poliwrath because I enjoy playing with a lot. I like it a lot as a lead. It has some really interesting matchups and definitely catches some people off guard. And I'm trying double flyers in the back. I don't know how this is going to work, but I do like the way it's set up. And you know what? This is all about the fun. So I hope you're enjoying the videos here. If you are, hit that subscribe button. Helps us grow our channel. And wish us luck here in this Go Battle League set. Let's go. Let's go. Hopefully we'll finally be out of rank 6 after this one. I've been slacking a little bit on my battles, to say the least. So these are the first battles I've done in about 4 days. So hoping they go pretty well. There we go. Player Jun, our first opponent in this set. Let's see how this goes. So trying to get the hang of this Shadow Poliwrath thing. What do we got in the lead? We've got a Umbreon, which is an extremely positive matchup for us. I fully expect them to switch out, and they're going to go to Azumarill. We beat Azumarill, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to actually go to our Tropius here. I'm not shielding the Ice Beam. The first Ice Beam doesn't kill us. We're on Razor Leaf, and they're going to have to commit a shield if they want to try and get to a second one, because we'll be able to get to this Leaf Blade. And if they do, we will match that, and then they will be dead. So I'm pretty, like, it always stinks to sort of lose your Tropius for the most part, but at the same time, you can't give them that switch advantage. So Umbreon comes back. Luckily, Snarl just doesn't really do that much, so we're going to be able to pile on some damage here. My expectation is that they are, yeah, well timed. They got that off before we got our Leaf Blade out, which is smart for them. But doesn't change the fact that Poliwrath is a coming. And I've already got a Dynamic Punch loaded, so Shadow Poliwrath is going to absolutely put some hurt on. A Last Resort would really, really hurt. So I probably will shield this. Given, you know what? Let's find out how much damage it does. Let's find out how much damage Last Resort does. It does, not too much. And Cresselia. Well, lucky for us, we have that secondary flyer, this one with the steel typing. Basically, nothing this Cresselia can do to us is actually going to hurt. The Moonblasts are resisted. The Grass Knots, which it likely has, are double resisted. In fact, really the only thing that can sort of make this miserable for us is if they get a debuff on one of these Moonblasts. It can be really obnoxious, to say the least. Because they'll definitely do a whole lot more damage to us. But I fully expect, we're already up a shield. I'm not planning to shield any of this. We resist Psycho Cut so savagely that basically I'm not worried about dying to Psycho Cuts at any point. So I plan to keep my shields and just protect the Shadow Poliwrath if I can. And I highly doubt that they're going to protect this Cresselia, although what they may do, and it's a pretty reasonable choice here, is make a switch here at the end when their clock is up, which is right now. And we're going to just go back to our Poliwrath here. Basically, by doing this, they force my Poliwrath back in. They're going to be able to come in and probably farm us a little bit. Not a ton, but a little bit. And hopefully try and set up a situation where they can beat the Skarmory with the Cresselia somehow. It's pretty unlikely. But I will commit the shields here because I would like to win this fight. Because the Skarmory doesn't want to see this. Even with a shield, like I don't want to be dealing with that. So we're gonna go ahead and get to this Dynamic Punch here, which should be lethal. And then I'm hoping we can just Ice Punch the Cresselia to death. It doesn't have very much health left. So that Dynamic Punch is lethal there. The Cresselia comes in. And they're toast. They're done with it. I think that was their plan. They were really hoping that would work out for them, and it did not. GG's opponent. That worked out perfectly for us. We had the right counters at the right times. Everything lined up really nicely for us there. So I can't expect all of these battles will go that smoothly for us. But let's hope they do. Let's hope they do. Sort of my nightmare scenario with this team is that like they have a Bastiodon in the back or a Registeel. And we have to spend our Poliwrath on that. Like, this is a team where I'm likely to switch off the Poliwrath if I have a decent matchup somewhere in the back, and I get to shield advantage. So like that's kind of our play. You might see me do that in a little bit because we have to make sure that we line up the Poliwrath with the steel type. All right, 222222229. Creative name, my friend. Let's battle. Let's battle. What do you got? We've got Poliwrath versus Azumarill. So we win this fight. Our opponent may not know it, but we probably win this fight. Now, if they have Play Rough, we don't win this fight. That's a little unfortunate side thing we need to know. Which means that we're going to shield the first move because we have to. If they have Play Rough, it will kill us from any health. So I'll learn a lot about this fight from specifically this move. So they are on Play Rough. So that is not good for us. What I can hopefully try and do is eat the Play Rough on the Tropius or the Skarmory and go from there. Actually, we got the shield out of them too. They switched. They switched. Wow. Okay. Well, that's great for us. Because this matchup's great for us, and yeah, you know what? I'm pretty happy. They must know. Most players do not know that they lose that fight. In fact, I don't think they do. If they just go straight Play Roughs, we're gonna lose that fight. But I'm pretty happy to just be like, I'm gonna take this Ice Beam. I think it's neutral damage. It's non-stab. It's gonna be a little close here at the end if I do, but I think because of our resistances. I know Charm is an OP move, but we should be able to farm them down and then Brave Bird whatever's coming in. Very rarely do I get to use the Brave Bird, but it's gonna feel real good to hit this Umbreon with the Brave Bird. Because it's gonna chunk. Oh, they shielded. Smart play. Well, sort of smart play. We get to bring the Poly in. We're already rocking with energy. I'm gonna keep an eye out for a switch. We have to make sure we preserve our shield. Like, I'm definitely gonna be paying attention to our shield situation. There we go. Well, apparently they didn't have Ice Beam. The answer is they left Ice Beam on the bench, because I think they would have at least tried to throw an Ice Beam at us if they had it. GG, opponent. Well, I'll take it. So far, the teams look pretty good. It was an interesting switch for our opponent. I don't think it was right for them to switch out of that matchup. And we just happen to have the right counters. Maybe they thought they were going to sneak in enough charms to really sort of get us, but you know, that was a bold choice. All right, let's see what our next opponent has in store for us. All right, Missing Gnome. I like that name. That's a cute name, Missing Gnome. All right, let's see what you got. So we've got Poliwrath versus Medicham. We do not win this fight. This is a pretty bad fight for us, but I'm gonna go straight to Tropius. We might get blown out here. All right, Stunfisk. That's all right. So we lined up like a relatively okay matchup. This is one where like we don't have to worry about their fast move. We're basically immune to Mud Shot. The problem is that the Rock Slides are not nothing. So this is one of those matchups where we could probably win this fight by just sort of committing shields. The downside for us is that we really kind of need them to do the same because that Medicham with shield advantage is going to be extremely difficult for us to beat. I'm going to chance that I can survive this Rock Slide just barely, which is true, and that they're not going to be able to kill me before I get to this Leaf Blade. That's basically where I'm at with it. So they have to shield to maintain switch advantage, and you know what? They're not going to. So I expect the Medicham to come back. We actually have another flyer, so I like where we're positioned here. The problem is that this flyer takes neutral damage from counter. I assume that this is a power-up punch, so I'm going to just take that. But unfortunately, this is one of those matchups where like this damage will just start to kind of add up. So we are going to start shielding this because we're basically just beating each other to a pulp here. And what I'm hoping to do here at the end of this is put us in a position where we're hoping Poliwrath lines up well against whatever their last Pokemon is, but that's not a guarantee by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not going to shield this one. This is going to get real tight here at the end. But I don't want to go down shields. I do want to have a shield for, you know, the inevitable final matchup here. But yeah, so like, unfortunately, we kind of needed to use that shield. Ice Punch is resisted, Power Up Punch is not. I'm just assuming that, and if they have Psychic, obviously we get humiliated there, but let's see what their last Pokemon is. We have a shield still. No grass, no grass, no grass. It's a normal type. Oh, it's a Munchlax. How cute. What do we do? All right, so we're gonna bait. I'm hoping that they shield this. I mean, Dynamic Punch from a Shadow Poly will, there we go, will absolutely truck them. The downside is we die to a Body Slam. So we need to probably get a Dynamic Punch and maybe an Ice Punch off here. I don't think a single Dynamic Punch will kill a Munchlax. It's just so bulky. So what we're hoping here is that, oh, so close. Come on, come on. Oh! We needed one more tiny bit of energy, because this Body Slam is definitely lethal. Yep. Oh, Munchlax. Why do you have to be so thick, Munchlax? GG, opponent. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think there's anything we necessarily could have done better there. I think that was just unfortunately us coming up a little short. All right. Simply Lifeless is our next opponent. Let's find out what Lifeless wants to do. Ooh, ow. Ow, ow, ow. So my guess is that we are going to see the Bastiodon come in here. Almost certainly, right? Yeah, there's the Bastiodon. So this is a terrible matchup. We can't do squat about this. Unfortunately, this is just the reality for us, is that we can't do anything about this. This is a team that, you know, we know this is a possibility. The upside is that Tropius is pretty good, and it's going to beat the Victory Bell pretty soundly. And depending on what their last Pokemon is, it might beat that too. So we're kind of just here setting this up to... like, my biggest concern actually is kind of an awkward one, which is what they're going to do is they're just going to farm. They're not actually going to... And in fact, what I should have done is thrown the Brave Birds, because the Brave Birds reduce our defense, so they'd be less effective. Basically, you could farm less. But what I'm worried about is basically them running the switch timer down too. In addition to... So like, they have all the energy in the world. So like, what they could do here is force a shield and then switch back to Victory Bell. Which is going to put us, again, awkwardly locked in. You know what? We're definitely shielding. I have to shield. So, like, I'm basically looking out for... Yeah. Yeah, see, like, we're still SOL here. Because DD is a great option. And it's going to have Rock Slide. And we can beat a DD, but... Oh, Thunderbolt. That is not the right move. That's only neutral. I wonder if they have Thunderbolt and I wonder if they only have Thunderbolt and what's it called? Psycho Boost is a possibility, which would explain why they did not want to throw that. So the real answer is, given the scenario we're in, I don't know that a shield is going to matter. There's the Psycho Boost anywhere down the road here. Maybe against this Bastiodon, but like... I feel like we're in rough shape no matter how you slice this. This team comp, which I know is sort of a common one right now, is a problem for this team. Like, they're just saving their shields for their Victory Bell, which is smart, because an Ice Punch would do great work against it, but unfortunately we need all the Ice Punches in the world, and we're gonna be dead long before we can get to 2 and we need 3. So unfortunately, I just don't know that there was a play here for us. That team comp is pretty good, especially with the DD there to sort of counter the flyers in the back. Yeah, Bastiodon in the back we sort of had already talked about was going to be a problem for us, and we saw it in action. All right, Zilona, ranked 10 last season. Let's see what they're rocking. So we get to see Poliwrath versus Deoxys. Not really a positive matchup given the circumstances. So we're gonna go to our Tropius and hope we don't get like blown out here. Tropius wins this matchup in the 1 shield. So if they just stick around, like my guess is they're gonna throw a Rock Slide and switch. They might as well switch to a better matchup for them. And if they don't have a better matchup, I feel actually pretty good. Oh, Driftblim. That is a better matchup. Driftblim is quite good against this team. Since, you know, it definitely resists all of these moves. And it has Icy Wind, so, you know, we're not going to shield anything here. We get to do a bunch of damage, but we're not shielding anything here. Icy Wind is gonna be pretty bad for us. Our biggest problem is that we're just in real trouble when it comes to sort of these Pokemon and switch advantage right now. So we're just gonna bring the Skarmory out. I know I'm gonna get Icy Winded at least once. They could also get feisty here and go straight for Shadow Ball, which would not be a bad play. I would not be surprised if we get, yeah, there we go. It hits real hard. People aren't really expecting it because, you know, oh, this one will be Icy Wind. But, you know, sometimes if you just throw the Shadow Ball, you can really sort of put pressure on your opponents. So we're gonna see that. That's pretty bad for us too. So we get to go here, but the downside for us is that, you know, we have to win this fight. And I don't know what the odds of us winning this fight are. These Ice Punches are going to hit harder than they normally would, given the stab. But like, or not the stab, sorry, the Shadow. But this is going to be a really, really tough matchup for us. Thunderbolt. Yeah, well, if Thunderbolt is... If they go straight Thunderbolts, we might have a chance here. We're seeing a little desync, too, which is kind of a bummer. But our Skarmory is never going to beat Empoleon. That is a terrible matchup, so... Yeah, that desync is a real annoying little... Ooh. Okay, well, we still have a shield. So we really need... Basically, we kind of need this Ice Punch to KO. This next one... And we kind of need to find enough energy. I mean, one of the things that I'll try and do here is I'll probably try and eat the inevitable charge move with... Oh, they had more energy than I thought. Yeah, well played by our opponent. I wasn't expecting them to switch there, and they just made that switch a little more quickly and more effectively. But yeah, we're never beating Empoleon, so we'll chalk that up. That is a very hard Skarmory counter. I haven't found Empoleon all that good, but if your opponents are playing Skarmories, it's excellent. So, well, it's another 2-win set. I have a lot of 2-win sets to upload. Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time, hopefully with, you know, a few more wins. Cheers.